wanted to talk to you today about Columbia residency by investment. There are several methods that you can use for this. One of them is what's called the M visa of Category 6, M6 for investment. And this is in a business or category. And then M10 for investment in real estate. And there's also a third option, which is called the resident R visa. Let me explain to you how they work. The M6 and the M10 migrant investor visas are valid for 1 to 3 years. And the new M6 and M10 visa, they're actually called immigrant visas, cost $282 US, including the processing charge. And this new R resident visa costs $443 US. Note there's a migrant M6 or M10 visa loses its validity if you leave Columbia for a period of over 6 months without returning to Columbia, and the R resident visa loses its validity if you leave Columbia for a period of over 2 years without returning to Columbia. The migrant visa for investment in business is number one. That's the first method. You're applying for what's called an M6 visa for investment in a business. You need to invest at least 100 times the Colombian minimum monthly salary, and the minimum wage in 2019 in Colombia was 877,803 pesos per month. And you multiply this times 100, and this equals 87,780,300 pesos, which, if you look at this, it comes out to be $26,984 US. This is using an exchange rate of 3,253 pesos per US dollar. So that could be changed by the time you look at this. But it's going to be right around $26,984 US that you actually invest in a business. The second option is what's called a migrant visa for investment in real estate. If you're applying for what's called an M10 visa for investment in real estate, you'll need to invest at least 350 times the Colombian minimum monthly salary, which is 307,231,050 pesos. Or if you do it in US dollars, it's 94,445 US. That's the exchange rate of the same that I just mentioned, 3,253 pesos per $1 US. The third option is what's called a resident visa or investment in real estate. If you're applying for a resident visa, which is also called the R visa, for a resident investor, you must provide with your visa application a communication issued by the International Exchange Department of the Banco de la República that records the direct foreign investment in the foreigner's name in an amount greater than 650 times the Colombian minimum monthly salary, which would come out to be 570,571,950 pesos, or if you do it in US dollar terms, it's 175,399 US dollars. This is using the same exchange rate of 3,253 pesos per $1. After applying and after receiving the online visa approval, if doing this in Colombia, you'll need to travel to Bogota to get the visa in your passport. The GDP per capita in Colombia, just to give you an idea, it's pretty low. It's $6,302 US a year. As of January the 19th, 2020, Colombian citizens had visa-free or visa-free on arrival to 127 countries and territories, ranking the Colombian passport the 44th in terms of travel freedom. Personal income tax rates in Colombia range from 10% to 33%, depending on your income. The corporate tax rate in Colombia stands at 33%. The health care is quite good in Colombia. It's very inexpensive. Colombia does also allow dual citizenship. The dual citizenship works like this. After having a migrant, what's called an M investment visa for 5 years, you're eligible to receive a resident R visa. And after having the R visa for 5 additional years, you can apply to become a citizen of Colombia, and you won't have to give up your existing citizenship. Colombia permits dual citizenship, as does the U.S. and many other countries also. Once you become a dual citizen with Colombian citizenship, you'll no longer need to deal with any of the visas anymore. Also, you'll be able to travel to a few countries as a Colombian citizen without a visa, such as Russia, which requires a visa to go for actually U.S. citizens. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't have a Russian visa-free travel. It's Russia or China. So this is one a quality you have with this passport. Also, if you have Colombian citizenship, this benefits you with the Mercosur trade bloc. Nationals of member states like Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, and Uruguay, and associated states like Bolivia, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru, they don't need a passport or visa to travel around the region. With only a national identity card is required for this. In addition, the Mercosur agreement grants the right to residence and work for citizens with no requirement other than nationality. Citizens of the member states and associated states that are part of the agreement enjoy a facilitated procedure for applying for a residence visa as long as they have a valid passport, birth certificate, and a negative certificate of criminal report. To become a citizen, Colombia requires a citizenship test just like the U.S. does. You'll be required to pass a test related to Colombian history, geography, and the Constitution. Also, a basic Spanish oral test is required. Those who have a bachelor's degree from Colombian University or over 65 years old are exempt from these tests. I'm going to give you my opinion on this as far as an evaluation on this citizenship program. Colombia does tax worldwide income, so if you're planning on living there, you're going to be taxed on all your assets that are abroad. Even if you don't, you can get the citizenship and leave. But if you plan on going there, and typically most countries hit you after you stay there 183 days or more a year, they'll hit your dividend income, all your assets that are international. So this is something you need to take in consideration. A better option would be if you're going to get residency, I would rather pick Panama because they've got a true territorial tax system. They don't tax income outside the country, and Panama is right next to Colombia. Not quite as cheap as Colombia, but it's pretty cheap there in Panama. Some other things, too, is you can get a lot better visa-free travel in the Caribbean countries for about the same cost or not far from it. And like St. Kitts, you can invest $200,000 in a property and get a lot more visa-free countries that you can travel to. And St. Kitts doesn't tax income outside the country, even if you live there all the time. In fact, they don't even have an income tax inside the country if you're living there all the time in St. Kitts. So these are some things that you need to really think about. There is good health care. That's one thing that's nice. Colombia has some of the cheapest health care of any place in the world, and it is good quality, especially in the private hospitals. So, you have to take this in consideration too. But as far as, the crime rate is dropped quite a bit in Colombia since they've got stricter on drugs. And the weather is pretty nice, so you can pick whatever weather you want, whether you want cool weather in the mountains or if you want to get weather that's nicer, that's, in the lower lands. Medellin has real nice weather all year round. Bogota is more cooler all year round. But anyway, if you got a question or comment, put it below. Also, if you would like new videos as they come out automatically, hit the subscribe button. That's that red button to the right of your screen, and we'll get the new videos out to you as soon as they come out. Also, we deal with about, number 2 is we deal with about 47 to anywhere from, depending on what you're looking for, it's citizenship or by investment or residency by investment. We deal with actually a total of 67 countries and territories that you might be interested in if you're not interested in Colombia that we deal with. And if you want to get your taxes to zero, close to zero, contact us. We've got a questionnaire on our website. You can fill that out. The website's www.citizenshipquickly.com. and fill that out, get it back to us. Be glad to help you out. And I look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care. Bye.